Hey everybody, Corey here. I'm going to go over the trades and holdings for the single stock ETFs and YBIT for 20 August. Just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just gather data and present it to you. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please make sure you understand what you're investing in before doing so, especially as we are going into a down market. All right, so we have several trades here. You can see just like right off the bat, we'll go through them as we go through here. And I think I've got them in alphabetical order. I didn't sort them today, but a lot of these are being people closing out of them, I guess. You can see close, 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 lots of closed. And then, of course, TSMY is going to be new. So be on the lookout for that. I guess it's tomorrow or Thursday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. But I did post when it was going to come out on YouTube. And they usually don't do these trades until the day before, so, yeah. All right. So we're going to start off with ABNY. I think, so I don't have my computer with me, but some of these are still trying to load. GDXY hadn't loaded yet, and I don't know if they've all loaded yet or not. But I'm going to go ahead and do the video regardless, so sorry. So ABNY here, it actually added 40 contracts to this one. So they added to the synthetic, and then they created a new short call that expires this Friday with a 120 strike price. So you can see all of that there. And there we go. Usually I have some of that hidden. We have 3 short calls here. They all expire on Friday. We have the 118, which were below 1%, but it's only like 60 something, 62 cents. Then we have the 120, 121, and that's it. 120 and 121, and we're below those 2 and 3%. Majority of the contracts are at the 121 strike price here. But you can see this stock went down a couple of dollars today. Possible upside if we got up to 121, which I don't know how the rest of this week is going to go. I don't know. Maybe 30 cents, 25, 30 cents there for the short calls. Then we move on to AIYY. So no trades for this one. These are today's holdings. We have one short call with a $26 strike price. We are below that 5% as we went down $1 today. Possible upside for the short call is about 55 cents, which is about 5.5% there. Then we have AMDY. And actually we can stay on the sheet for these. So they closed out of 600 of the contracts. You can see they closed out of, hold on, was this like this before? I guess it was. So 2 synthetics here, same strike price, different expiration dates. So anyway, they closed out of 600 of the synthetic for the 9/20 expiration date. And then they closed the 600 on the short call with the 152.50 strike price. And as you can see, there's 2 strikes, 152.50 and 155, were over both of these strike prices. We're over by 3 and 1%. and we're like evenly split here, 3,600 shares apiece. So no upside here for the short calls, as we are capped at that 155 strike price. And we closed today at 156.40, so we did go up a little bit today. But you can see, even though we were already above the strike prices, AMDY still ended up going up a few cents, even though it was only like 14 cents. It was able to go up some due to the synthetic there. So then we have AMC here. They closed out of 585 contracts, so they only had one synthetic and one short call. So those came out of that. And it looks like we have a 152.50 strike price. We're underneath that 2% with a possible upside for the short calls of 39 cents, which is about 2%. Then we move on to Apple, closing out 245 contracts. They closed out of that, and then the short call, they closed out of the 245 on the 227.50 strike price. So that 227.50, we're only below that 99 cents, and then we have the 230 strike price, which we're under 2%. So possible upside here of around 20 cents for the short calls for Apple. And then BABO, no trades. That's today. And we have two short calls, 81 and 83 strike prices. We did drop almost $3 today. In fact, all the China stocks dropped today. So we're just slightly over that $81 strike price now by 4 cents. And we are under the 83 strike price now by 2%. Of course, majority of the contracts are at the $81 strike price. So I don't expect any upside here for the short calls. Then we have Coney with no trades, two short calls, 212.50 and 215. We're below those 7 and 8%. About almost split between these two strike prices. So if we could get up to that 212.50 possible upside for the short calls of about 55 cents. Dizzo, they closed out of 135 contracts for the synthetic and the short calls listed there. You can see our short call strike price is $91, and we're underneath that 1%. Looks like Disney stock dropped about $1 today, so we're just under $90 now. Possible upside here for Disney of about 22 cents, which is about 1.4%. Then we have Phoebe closing out 120 contracts for their synthetic and their short call. Short call that expires this week is $540. Currently under that 2%, and about a 47-cent upside here for Phoebe for the short calls, which is about 2.5%. GDXY still has not loaded, so we'll be skipping that one. And then we have GUI here with no trades. We have a short call for Friday with the 165 strike price. We are over that 1%, or $2.18, and we have no possible upside for the short calls. But you can see today GUI went up 2 cents. JPMO, no trades, two short calls, 215, which were only under 48 cents, and then 217.50, and the majority of the contracts are at that 215 strike price. So only about 3 cent upside there for that short call. You can see that JPM actually dropped almost $1, somewhere around 90 cents today, and JPMO went up 9 cents. Murney, no trades. We have 3 short calls, 86, 90, and 93. Moderna did drop $3 today, so we're just 94 cents or 1% over the $86 strike price, which is where the majority of the contracts are. Then we have a 90 and 93 strike price, and we're underneath those 3 and 7%. I'm not going to say any upsides possible here, only because not for the short calls. Obviously, as these go up and the short call amounts cancel each other out, the synthetics should still bring it up. But for the short calls, it doesn't seem like there's any upside really, because if you add up the $90, $93 strike price, those contracts, it's 1,420, and at the 86 we have 1,430. All right. MSFO. They closed out of 95 of the contracts today, of the synthetic and the short calls here. Short calls of $425 strike price, and we're at $424.80. So we're only 20 cents below that, with a 1 cent possible upside for the short call. But you can see that the stock of MSFO did come up 15 cents today. Then we have Misty here with 3 short calls, 138, 138.50, and 140. I'm pretty sure these were up to 140 today. It was this morning. And I know for sure pre-market, man, I was so going to make sure I brought up Moo on my iPad before I started. And then I forgot. But I think MicroStrategy was up. To 140. Let me look real quick. Oh yeah. It was actually at open, it was above 141. I knew I had seen it up. I might have even sold a few of my swing trading shares, but I don't remember. I think I did, and then I think when it hit 130 or 131, I bought them back. And then, of course, as a reminder, if you didn't see yesterday's video, there's MSTX that's out there. I think that's a Defiance leveraged one. Now I'm getting confused that Defiance and Rex shares are doing those. Alright, sorry, I had a yawn. But the majority of these contracts are at the 138 strike price. But we're underneath that 3% currently, and that gives a possible upside of 70 cents. And then we're below the 138.50 and the 140, 3 and 5%. Then we have Netflix here. They closed out at 80 of the Netflix contracts. The Netflix contracts. But we have a short call of 675. Wow. I don't even know why Netflix is going up. Actually, I think I sold out of like the one share I had this week. But anyway, 675 strike price, but we closed today at 698.54. So we're 3% above that strike price, or about $23.50 above. So you can see that Netflix went up about 10% or $10, and Netflix went up 9 cents. But no upside here for the short calls, in case I need to say that. And then we have NVIDIA's short calls that expire next week with a 124 and 130 strike price. NVIDIA dropped almost $3 today, but we're still 3% above the 124 strike price, and we're 2% below the 130 strike price. So I don't know, maybe an upside here of about 20, I don't know, 25 or so cents for the short call. We'll see. We can see that they ended up, NVIDIA dropped today by about 29 cents. All right, OARC. We have a short call with a $45 strike price. Expires Friday. We are underneath that. Yesterday we were above it. Today we are under, but it gives us a possible upside. It says of 11 cents here. Of course, we can see OARC only dropped 1 cent today, while ARC dropped about 55 cents. PayPay closing out 630 contracts. Short call expires Friday, $70 strike price. PayPal has been going up for some reason. Closed today at $71.89, so we are now above that strike price of $70 by 3%. So no possible upside for the short call here. All right, Snowy. Don't forget, Snowy reports earnings. I believe it is tomorrow after hours. I'm sorry, I don't even know what day of the week it is. Let me just check. Postmark of the 21st, and it's the 20th. It's Tuesday. Okay, so it is tomorrow after hours. I talked about that some last night and looked up some charts, and I think the two that I looked at for this year, when they went up and when they went way down. So not sure how this one's going to shake out, but just be careful with it, because I do remember mentioning, like, I guess the first one, I don't know, they were like 230, and here we are at 130 now. And last earnings, I don't know, they dropped significantly. And then they've dropped significantly to where we are today also. So we might even be down like 50%, or not quite 50, I think I said 40% yesterday. So let me look again real quick. Yeah, it was in February of this year that they were almost 240. They were at 238, almost 238. And they fell really bad at that earnings. So much so that one day they were at 230, and the next day they were at 180 something. So be careful with snow and Snowy here. Anyway, we have a short call for Friday with a 138 strike price. We're currently underneath that 4%, possible upside of about 85 cents for the short call, which is about 4.4% upside. Then we have SQUE here with two short calls for Friday, 67.68 strike price. You can see block did drop a couple of dollars today, but they're underneath those strike prices, 3 and 5%. Possible upside here of about 36 cents, up to $67 there for the short calls. TSMY. We have two short calls expire Friday, 225 and 227.50. We're below those 2 and 3%, but majority of those contracts are 227.50. So we're looking at about 35-cent upside for the short calls here. And then TSMY, As you can see, our synthetic's going to be 170. Yeah, so they have a 170 synthetic, and then they have two short calls, a 177.50 and a 180. So they split the shares between those two. And you can't have a possible upside here yet because the stock hasn't even started trading yet. Sorry, I'm having to readjust. Let me move this. I know all the blankets are making noise here. Let me check real quick to see if it's tomorrow. I would assume it would be tomorrow that these would be traded since this stuff is posted today. But let me look real quick. Community. Yeah, it does say Wednesday. For some reason, I thought they normally drop on Tuesday and Thursday, but it will be tomorrow. All right, then we have Zomo down here. They closed 130 contracts. We have a short call of 121 strike price. Wow, Zomo dropped $4 today. I did not realize that. 121 strike price underneath that 5%, which gives us a possibility of about a 90-cent upside here for the short calls for Zomo. And let me look. Yeah, we were able to capture all of those over there except for YBit. Well, we can still capture that one when we get to it. So we have crash here with our short put of 210. So we are above that by 5%. And then we have dips here, short put 119 strike price, and we're above that 7%. Fiat short put 190 strike price, we are above that by 4%. And then YQQQ. Well, in like a couple of days, it's already down mid-19s. But the short put is 456, and we're above that 5%. All right. Then we have YBit. Short call with a $20 strike price. We're currently underneath that 3% at $19.35. Possible upside here is about 47 cents, which is about 3.25%. Oh, and I needed to go up, so I apologize. Yeah, this one hasn't loaded yet. So this YQQQ is yesterday's holdings, which would actually be the same, because the values wouldn't be the same. So hold on, I'm wondering if they just, let me see something, because well, that stuff's different. I don't know why those two won't load. Yeah, it's the same values. Yeah, which means that's not the new ones. So let's just look and see. So GDXY is loaded here. Let's look real quick down here. So it did load over here. I don't know why it's not loading on my other sheet. Let me hide all this raw data stuff. Okay, sorry. anyway, so there's not much difference here. Just glancing over at the side at the synthetic and the net assets and stuff. There's a slight, maybe, a few dollars or $100 depending on which one you're looking at. But still, that 456 straight price being underneath that 5% here. But let's go back to GDXY. Since apparently it loaded. And I passed it. Man, there we go. Alright, so the short call, $39 straight price. Of course, we're above that 50 cents now. Or 1%, so there's no possible upside here for the short call for this one. But, you can still go based on the synthetic, and you can see that because yesterday we were above the straight price, and GDXY did end up going up 11 cents, while GDX went up 28 cents. And then just to show you, that is where we were yesterday. If you're curious about comparing these numbers on the right. So here we're positive 78, and here negative 34. And you see this one went up, of course, more. This one went up more, or down more, meaning in the negative. But we were still able to move up a little bit. Alright, so that's it for the trades and holdings. I don't think I'm going to do I had Ulti. I don't know. Well, I didn't do it first because I want to get this one done first and get it started uploading. But I think I'm about to fall asleep. So it was a struggle trying to get through this one tonight. But I'll see if I can't do those in the morning. Alright. We'll talk with y'all later. Bye.